Okay, students, good evening. This is Gayatri, lecturer in biotechnology, DRW College, Gudur. Now, I am going to starting to discuss with you about antigens and their properties. In our earlier classes, we have completed about antibodies and types or different classes of antibodies and all. Today, we are going to discuss about the antigens. What is antigen? What do you know about antigen? Antigen is which is it is nothing but foreign body. Am I right? Screen share అవుతుందమ్మా?
Yes,
Is my
ma'am.
screen sharing? Right. See, antigen is
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Yes, very good. Antigen is it is a foreign molecule which when enters into human being's body, which will try to cause a disease, otherwise which activates our immune system. Antigen or epitope or antigenic determinant and antigenicity, all these concepts we are going to study in this topic now. Then what is immunogen and what is immunogenicity is the causative agent or any agent which will activate our immune system, that is called immunogen. Okay, what is hapten? Hapten is also a incomplete antigen is called sometimes hapten. Okay, then coming to our antigen structure, see this is one example only. Antigens are different types. Okay, we are taking here only the bacterial cell. See, this is an antigen, for example. This is the structure of antigen. You just imagine, see, surface area of antigen is like this with spikes. Okay, these are sites for adhesion of the antibody. Okay, see, on the particular site which is on the surface of antigen is called epitope. Okay, see, this is about the general structure of one of the best examples of the antigen. Now, already we have discussed about this. It is a foreign substance, usually protein and sometimes which is a polysaccharide. Polysaccharides are more antigenic than proteins. Okay, antigen generates a specific immune response and induces the formation of a specific antibody or T cell responses or both. Sometimes antigen induce our immune system and which will leads to the production of antibodies. Sometimes cells are also respond against antigens. Okay, that is called T cell response. Sometimes both will be activated, T cells as well as immunoglobulins. Then reacts with the products of a specific immune response. Okay, this is about antigen. Then what is epitope? This is antigenic determinant. Okay, the binding site of the antibody which is present in the antigen is called as epitope. Active regions of an immunogen that binds to the antigen specific receptors, only lymphocytes, are to secrete antibodies. That particular site is called epitope. I'll show you here. This is epitope. See, this is the particular site which is ready to bind with antibody. That is called epitope. And then what is antigenicity? The ability of antigen to react specifically with a free antibody or membrane coupled antibody, which is called antigenicity. What is immunogen is immunomolecule that stimulate a specific immune response, that is called immunogen. Immunogen means a molecule that stimulates the specific immune response, not entire immune response. You just remember this slight line, molecule that stimulates a specific immune response, that is called immunogen. What is immunogenicity is the ability to induce a humoral or cell mediated immune response is called as immunogenicity. Antibodies You know very well about antibody, a specific protein that is produced in response to an immunogen and react with an antigen. Always, our antibodies are always trying to destroy the antibody. They are always in an active state. When the antigen enters into our body, they are always ready to respond out and act against that antigen and try to kill that antigen. Okay, then coming to hapten, a substance that is non-immunogenic but it can react with the product of specific immune response with no antibodies formation. Okay, here this is called sometimes incomplete antigen, a substance that is non-immunogenic but it can react with a product of a specific immune response.
Madam, voice.
Okay, ma, that is maybe due to some internet problem. So, okay, now it can react with the product of a specific immune response with no antibodies formation. Small molecules with a low molecular weight less than 10,000 that could never include an immune response when administered by themselves unless it's coupled to carrier molecule. Okay, their haptens are very small molecules with a low molecular weight less than 10,000 that could never induce an immune response when administered by themselves unless it's coupled to carrier molecule. Haptens has the property of antigenicity but not immunogenicity. They are just like an antigen. That's why they are called incomplete antigens. They have no ability to induce immunogens. Immunogens means they are nothing but production of antibodies. So it has no that much capacity. Then pioneer working of Karl Landsteiner, who has invented all these concepts. Then this is hapten molecule he has injected. Then antiserum, no antibodies raised. Carrier molecule. When he has injected carrier molecule, antiserum, he has tested antiserum, there is a production of antibodies. Then hapten plus carrier conjugate he has injected, there are again release of antibodies. Then this is carrier and hapten conjugate. Then when injected to rabbit, to immunize rabbit, antibodies to hapten was released here, antibodies to carrier molecule has released here. For conjugate also, there is a release of antibodies. For three individual categories, here antibodies was released. Then factors influencing
Antibodies
immunogenicity.
conjugate.
Factors influencing immunogenicity. Foreignness. Foreignness is one of the best factors to influence immunogenicity. Foreignness means if any foreign body which is slightly related to our genes, it is not considered as a highly foreign body. Okay, it is not considered as a complete foreign body. Okay, foreignness is the basic concept. Depends upon the foreignness only. There is a uh, immunogenicity depends on. Then size, molecular size of the antigen also influences the immunogenicity. Then chemical composition also influences. Already I have discussed with you. Sometimes when compared with proteins and carbohydrates or polysaccharides may give a high immunogenicity than proteins. See here, which means what? The composition of the that complex or antigen is influencing the immunogenicity. Please all of you off your speakers. Please all of you off your speakers. It is sounding some disturbance. Then physical form of the antigen also influences immunogenicity. That is particulate or soluble, denatured or native. Then degradability also influence the immunogenicity. Then genetic type, genotype, and specific individual responders versus non-responders also influence the immunogenicity. Age also influences the immunogenicity. young and energetic persons, they may have a protective mechanism is active, then the immunogenicity may act less working because they are always protective. Then dosage of antigen. If minute particles are enters into the body, at that particular times, antigenicity is influence of antigenicity is somewhat less. If dosage is high, the influence of immunogenicity is high. Then route of administration, subcutaneous, intravenous. Okay, sometimes subcutaneous means through skin, intravenous means through veins. Okay, routes of entry is also influence on the immunogenicity. Then adjuvants, substances that enhances an immune response to an antigen is called adjuvants. Okay, it slowly they encourages the antigens. Those kind of concepts are called as adjuvants. Then chemical nature of immunogen. Proteins are antigens, polysaccharides are antigens, sometimes nucleic acids are also antigens, lipids are also work as antigens in many times. Then types of antigens, T-dependent antigens. T-dependent antigens are antigens which can directly stimulate the B cells to produce antibody without the requirement of T cell help. In general, polysaccharides are T-dependent antigens. Okay, generally when polysaccharides are enters into the human being's body, then immediately there is an activation of B cells. Okay, B cells directly they can produce antibody without the requirement of any T cells help. Okay, so then many times this is T cell dependent. Polysaccharides are many times T cell dependent. In few times only they can directly produce antibody without the help of T cell. Then examples pneumococcal polysaccharide, lipococcal polysaccharide, flagella. Then T-dependent antigens. The T-dependent antigens are those do not directly stimulate the production of antibody without the help of T cells. Okay, in our previous slide, what we have seen was they influence directly the B cells. Then from the B cells, there is a huge amount of the production of antibodies. Here, through the with the help of T cells only, there is a production of antigens. Then examples for T cell dependent microbial proteins. Then coming to superantigens. Superantigens are microbial proteins that can bind to T cells and then activate T cells. But the activation of T cells is not a specific polyclonal, but VB of TCR and alpha of MHC2 class, MHC class 2. They are working as a super antigens. Then types of super antigens are endogenous S antigen, example, varially encoded membrane, proteins infected mammalian cells, retroviruses, like that. Then exogenous SAG, exotoxins produced by bacteria, such as Staphylococcus enterotoxins. See, these are super antigen types. This is exogenous super antigen. This is endogenous super antigen. You just get a screenshot of this. Just get a screenshot of this. In examination, you have to draw this diagram. Then super antigen binding to T cells bind simultaneously to MHC class 2 and TCR. SAG binds outside the TCR and T cell receptor. TCR means T cell receptor. SAG binds outside the TCR antigen binding region. Activation is polyclonal. Activity is 3 to 20% of T cells. Release of massive cytokines. Okay, this is the diagram. Follow that. See, this is about our antigens. These are all different types of antigens. What is antigenicity? what are the factors influencing the antigenicity. In our coming class, we will discuss the next topic. And then